Good morning, ladies and gents. So welcome to this video. Well, this is really the first episode of a new series I want to do called the Business Development or Biz Dev series. Basically explaining the ins and outs of business development, how you can use certain business development strategies in your existing acquisition systems or business as a whole to tap into new markets and actually get in quality sales on a consistent basis. So in this first episode of the Biz Dev series, I want to talk about really what nobody is talking about, which is actually finding your beachhead market. The importance of the beachhead market is it's enormous because people talk about TAM, total addressable market, and things like this, but we're not going to target everybody because not everybody needs your service. Right, so we need to really dive deep into who is our first sort of customer that we will sell to immediately, because they are more susceptible in buying our products or services. Right, so for example, from a consumer customer point of view, like this Burberry hat, I would be a part of Burberry's beachhead market because I'm already susceptible of buying their products, or I have express buying interest or buying intent to their products, right? So I would be a part of their beachhead market, and it would be a smart idea to market and advertise to a demographic or a group such as myself, right? So we're sort of going to extrapolate the same principles into your agency and how to find your beachhead market. And I'll give you some examples after we run through this little presentation PowerPoint here. Kudos to ChatGPT. If you're not using that, well, you are behind. So episode 1. How to find your beachhead market, or finding your beachhead market, a guide to business development fundamentals, right? The main crux of the matter here, in which this whole series will be built upon, is the fundamentals. So, introduction. Finding the right beachhead market is crucial. In simple words, a beachhead market is a small, focused group of customers who are most likely to buy your product or service. And this guide will help you to understand the basics of business development and show you how to find your beachhead market in the entirety of your TAM, right? So there is about 7 steps I want to run you through here, and then a small conclusion, and then some examples I got for you here. So step 1 to actually identifying your subset beachhead market is identify your product or service, right? Before finding your beachhead market, it's important to know what you're offering. You guys probably like we know what we're offering, right? For example, we target agencies. Hey, we do advertising, right? We do okay. Well, what sort of advertising? TikTok advertising, Facebook advertising, prints. You need to understand what you are offering if you have multiple different services, or if you have one service and one offer. Is there a possibility that we can create new offers that resonate with the beachhead market, right? So there's a lot of testing that needs to go on, a lot of rapid testing, so you can get that data as quickly as possible, act on that data, and keep reiterating until you find your beachhead market, right? So sort of you need to understand what you're offering at first sight. What problem does your product or service solve for a specific target or a subset group, and what makes it unique or different from your competitors, right? And these are very, very important questions you should ask yourself. And so what I would do is I would take a few hours, maybe on a weekend or whenever you are free, and just take some time to clearly define your product or service and understand its core values. Right, because we're not selling Facebook advertisements, we're not selling TikTok advertisements, we're not selling content creation, we're selling outcomes, right? We all know this, but there's multiple different outcomes that your service can produce. But which outcome is the best? Is the absolute best for your subset beachhead market, right? So you really need to understand its core values. Like, you have to go deep into this. And for our clients, we go very in depth into their ICP. We take numerous of days to create their ICP, and really, well, not creating the ICP, really just to understand the ICP literally to the most fundamental first principle levels. So once we build our marketing assets and once we build our campaigns, things of this nature, we know exactly we know exactly what to test and what not to test and what data to go off of, because we have these descriptions of who our ICP is, right? And the specific value that entails to them, right? That makes sense. So once you take some time to clearly define your product or service and understand its core value, then that's when we need to go into the market research phase. I see a lot of agency owners, really a lot of business owners in general, don't put a lot of emphasis on market research. And I don't know why, because market research is literally the most important backbone to your business as a whole, especially if you're running a service-based business, because we're in the people business, right? So you really need to do in-depth market research. I would take a week or two off just to do market research, call your competitors, call people in your market, do surveys, do, these sort of qualitative and quantitative research so you can understand who your market really is, right? Hire a market research company if need be, right? I've worked with 2 market research companies, or 1 market research company so far. And prior to that, I never worked with a market research company. I've sort of asked myself, why is this even important? But then I looked into myself as like, okay, how many weeks or how many hours did I put into actually researching my own market? It was a lot, right? So now I understand the importance of market research, right? So now that you know your product or service and the tangible value, the real tangible value that it creates for your market, it's time to find out who your ideal customers are, right? A specific subset. And what this entails is the characteristics, right? And the needs of potential customers. You need to consider factors like what is the median age, gender, location, preferences. This information will help you narrow down your target. I mean, guys, yes. So I remember I was my first, this is about a year ago, those sort of market research documents you might get from like a course or something to define your ICP, your client avatar. What do they do every single day? How many kids do they have? What's their age? Do they own a house? Do they not own a house? Are they millennials? Things like that. And I was just asking myself, why does this even matter? A year later, it just sort of clicked in my mind, like, this matters so much, because if we can get clients literally on paper what we wrote down in terms of market research and the ideal attributes, if we can get even 5 clients just like that, we can easily make $100K a month, $200K a month, because, well, I mean, that's a different story in terms of being a growth partner, but you sort of get the point, right? We want to talk directly to the attributes that we made up for our ideal customers. So again, once we make our campaigns, it all makes sense. Like, it all comes down to the first principles of finding the beachhead market or business development as a whole, right? So, all right, apologies, got a phone call. Anyways, yeah, exactly. So research your target customers, and this will help you narrow down your target audience so you can find that subset, i.e. the beachhead market. All right, so step 3, analyze your competition. There's a sort of caveat to this, because with us, we don't really analyze our competition at all, really, because we focus all of our efforts on our service, making our service and offering the best it can possibly be. And if we focus all of our efforts on that rather than our competition, then we'll be far better off. But with market research, it is very helpful to sort of analyze your competition, right? But I wouldn't go fully in depth into it. Like, for example, for us, again, as I mentioned, seldom do we just analyze our competition or do research on our competition. But we know who our competition is, right? And we know their offerings, but that's it. But anyways, in any market, there are competitors offering similar products or services. Analyzing your competition will give you valuable insights, which is very true. Like, there's a lot of little tidbits that I got from our competitors. And like, these competitors, they're friends of mine, but even though we operate in the same sort of vertical, it's just, it is what it is. So I would analyze your competition, look at their strengths, weaknesses, and pricing strategies, and reverse engineer to see what you can do better, right? But I wouldn't put too much hours into this, because my personal advice is just focus on your service, focus on your offering. But the only way you can do that is sort of see what the competition is doing, so you don't make your offering the same, right? So step 4, define your beachhead market. So based on all the market research that you've done, based on all the docs that you've created around your ICP and client avatar, it's time to define your beachhead market. Your beachhead market should be a smaller segment of the overall total addressable market that closely aligns with your product or service, right? So consider selecting a specific age group, location, or interest-based community as your initial focus. So this is very generalized at the moment. And if you are already established business, one trick you can identify your beachhead market is just go back into your existing client pool or client base and see which similarities you have in the client pool. For example, if you have 3 clients that are in the PR niche that are relatively the same age or the same stature or the same offering, then that could be, a possibility of your beachhead market, right? So you can sort of extrapolate that and do with that what you will. So that's how you define your beachhead market. Just go into your existing client pool, see the similarities in who you serve, and then go after that market. If you don't have any clients at the moment to identify your beachhead market, well, you just have to do outreach, right? So, and then whoever you sign on first, just double down on those type of persons. So, step 5, test and validate. Once you have identified your beachhead market, it's time to test your product or service with this specific group of customers. Right, so what you need to do is rapidly test, and I mean rapidly create outbound systems that you can gather data from, so you can identify, the metrics, so you can test and validate, right, the beachhead market to see, hey, this beachhead market, this certain subset of group, this works, they're susceptible to buying our services. Let's double down on that specific subset. Right, so for example, I would quickly create a cold email campaign, send out loads of emails, very generalized, or generalized but a little bit of personalization, so you can hit that target market or that specific subgroup or the beachhead market you want to go after. Gather some data, put it in a spreadsheet, and then go from there, right? And then just keep reiterating until you see which subset is susceptible to buying your services or products. And the easiest way to do that is just who are the people showing up on your calls, right? Step 6, build relationships and promote. As you start getting traction in your beachhead market, focus on building strong relationships with your customers and clients, right? Provide excellent customer service and maintain open lines of communication. I would be very transparent with your current customers, clients. Word of mouth recommendations are powerful indeed. So encourage your satisfied customers to spread the word about your product or service, right? Like the best way to go viral is word of mouth. That's basically what it is, right? That's the best way to go viral in your specific niche, because word does get around. Believe me, guys, word does get around. So do good work and just be an open book. Be very transparent, so you can see the open sort of planes, if you will, to see which market is best for you, so you can dominate that certain market and deliver tremendous value. Last step 7, expand and diversify. Once you identify your beachhead market, once you're in that market, once you sort of taken over that market, now it's time to expand. Now it's time for you to expand and get outside of that beachhead market and go into many different markets that is kind of similar to that beachhead market in terms of attributes, but still different enough that they're not the same in terms of subset and groups and niches. Right, so once you have established a solid foundation in your beachhead market, it's time to consider expanding and diversifying your client base. Use the knowledge and experience gained from your initial success to target additional customer segments. Gradually expand your marketing efforts and adjust your strategies accordingly. So the easiest way to do this is just literally repeat the same exact process. That's literally all it takes, is to expand and diversify once you are established in your beachhead market. Just go through steps 1 through 7. That's really it. So the conclusion to this is finding your beachhead market is a vital step in business development, business as a whole. By understanding your product or service, researching your target customers, analyzing your competition, testing and validating your offerings, copious amounts of feedback, identifying that feedback, reiterating that feedback, applying the feedback, right? You can identify a smaller focus group of customers who are most likely to embrace what you have to offer. Remember to build strong relationships, provide excellent customer service, and gradually expand your reach. Good luck with your business development journey. Right, so just a couple of examples I want to run through you guys here is, for example, for us, so for Sales Lead, to how we identified our beachhead market is that we sort of me and my co-founder, we sort of went back and sort of asked ourselves, because we were running our own lead generation agencies at the time, we just asked ourselves, like, hey, who is our current customer base, right? And it was kind of all over the place. And I was like, okay, well, since there's not a similarity in our customer bases, which clients that we deliver the best results for, right? And then that's when the domino effect started to happen. It's like, okay, hey, we got this PR agency that operates in the financial tech niche, very good results, right? We dominated the coaching space with this podcast production or podcast placement offer with a media agency. Right, so we sort of reverse engineer, lose my voice today. We reverse engineer those attributes and created an ICP sheet around those attributes, and then send out LinkedIn messages, send out cold emails, validated our offering, and then we just found out who our specific subset group is by doing these campaigns, because we just look at, okay, who is booked into our calendar, and what kind of job roles are booked into. Like, you guys have to ask these questions as well. So for example, most of the job roles that booked into our calendar is VP of sales, directors. They're not really the CEOs, because the people we talk to, they're running multi-million-dollar companies, upwards to 100, 200, 300 million dollar companies, right? So usually we get in contact with the VPs first, the directors first, and then we talk to the CEO, right? And then that's how we were able to identify our beachhead market. It's like, okay, hey, let's just target VPs, let's target head of sales, let's target growth directors, and then that's how we can reach the CEO. Because we did an A/B split test of targeting CEOs, founders, owners, and targeting more like growth managers, vice presidents, directors, things of that nature, or job roles of that nature. And then we tested that, and then we saw that data, we validated that data, and then we just went with that specific feedback loop, and then doubled down on that, right? Hopefully that makes sense. I'm kind of all over the place today. But guys, if you are an agency owner doing more than $50,000 per month and you want to work with us, you want us to be sort of a fractional CRO, and you want to, instill these business development strategies, how to integrate AI, how to create a market-piercing offer, how to find your beachhead market step by step, completely done for you on a complete pay and results basis. Book a call at saleslead.com. You can sort of watch. First of all, before you even book a call, I highly recommend you watch this video by my co-founder Max. He sort of explains to you how we instill growth strategies into your existing established agency. Right. So hopefully you found some value in this, and episode 2 will be here shortly. And let me know if you like sort of a series like this. I know it's very bare bones and very boring, but as I get more feedback in terms of the target audience, maybe I'm going to make it more fun, right, with more images and more flair and more edits and stuff like that. But I'm going to keep it very bare bones for right now, just pure value. And yeah, let me know. Have a great rest of your week. And again, if you do want to work with us, go to saleslead.com and check us out. All right, cheers.